Welcome to Women Staying Focused for Jesus. Staying focused for Jesus. Staying focused for Jesus. So this is my son, David, and this is my channel, Women Staying Focused for Jesus. And today I've got some serious stuff to talk about. I haven't posted any videos in like forever, but I've been thinking about stuff and the Lord's been putting it on my heart. So for the past few years, I would say the past 3 years, I've had a lot of deaths in my family. What is this? 2017, 2014. So for the past 4 years, I've had a lot of deaths in my family. And pretty much starting in 2014, or actually 2013, one of my grandfathers passed away. So my grandfather, and then my grandmother, and then auntie, cousin, another auntie, another cousin, another auntie, and this is both sides of my family. So I know if my family's watching this, they're like, wait a minute, it's not that many. But on my mom and my daddy's side of the family, around the same time, my mom's sister passed away, my dad's sister passed away. I mean, within like a year of each other, they both lost a sister. Both were younger sisters. So my mom lost one of her younger sisters. My daddy lost one of his younger sisters, his baby sister actually. And it was both to cancer. When my grandfather passed, it was from cancer. When my grandmother passed, it wasn't from cancer, but it was still every single person that has died within the past 4 years has been my family, cousins, grandparents, aunts. It's all been health related, minus one of my cousins who was shot. Everybody else was health. Now, one of my older aunts, she was like 95, I think. She did have cancer, but she didn't get any treatment, so she didn't go through the chemo and everything. Plus, she was 95, so it was kind of pointless, you know. But to say she lived 95 years, she lived a long, good life. She wasn't worried about it, because even when we talked to her on the phone, she said she was trusting the Lord. She wasn't worried about, cancer treatment or anything like that. I think it was bladder cancer, but she still lived another. She still lived the following year. So when she told us about the cancer, she passed away the next year. So where am I going with this? I've had a lot of stuff to say, and I've said it to some family, maybe not everybody, but I do post a lot of stuff on Facebook and Twitter and things like that, and I talk to some on the phone about these different things. But sometimes it's hard, people, not everybody deals with death well, and not everybody deals with, especially when something is, I don't know, when it's so close, like if it's your mom or your sister or your, like it's been very close to my family to see this many people die from illnesses, from diseases and such, minus my one cousin. And so I said all that to say this: I don't want to waste any more time not saying what the Lord has given me to say. And now the wash is done. I don't want to waste any more time saying what the Lord has given me to say. I feel like, and I'm not going to name names, y'all, my family, who's passed away. But I've been able to talk to pretty much all of them before they died, but I didn't say what I needed to say. I didn't say what I needed to say because I didn't know that they were going to die the next month, or some of them that I was with, they died, well, one particular, died the next day. And so looking back at that, I'm like, man, the Lord has put me in the presence of different family members who, had I known that they weren't going to be here that long, I would have said something right then, like, I got to just say it. So I'm saying, I'm putting this video out there for everybody who calls himself a Christian. We don't know when anybody is going to die. Even if they're on their deathbed, even if the doctor said, well, they've got 3 months or they've got 6 months or whatever, that doesn't mean that person's going to be here for the next 6 months or the next 3 months. Like my cousin who was killed, you can't prepare for somebody being shot. You can't prepare for that. Yeah, you can try to prepare for a person who has cancer, like, okay, well, I know, any day. But when a person gets killed, that's like, they're just taken away like that. And so I just want to tell all of you, preach the gospel. That's why Paul says, be instant in and out of season. Like, we got to be ready all the time. We can't just wait until, such and such, they find out they've got cancer, or such and such find out they have this or that. Like, no, that's not time. You don't wait for that, because what if you don't get that? Everybody doesn't get that. I know that somebody watching this video knows somebody who died before their time, or somebody who died and no one was expecting it. Like, oh man, I didn't know they were going to die today, or this week or whatever. Like, I know plenty of people like that, who nobody could have seen that, Sometimes when people get shot, they live to talk about it. But I have family members who, when they were shot, that was it. And I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to them. I didn't get a chance to minister to them, to preach the gospel to them. But had I been on top of it, had I been, telling people in my family, then I wouldn't have had to worry about that. I wouldn't have been at the funeral crying, saying, man, if I should have said something, And I've had family members that consoled me to say, don't worry about it. They're with the Lord now. They're at peace now. Why are you crying? You crying because you didn't tell them the gospel? Well, yeah, because how do I know? How do I know that they were saved? And I know that that's tough. If you are my family and you're watching this and you're, thinking I'm crazy, I'm just being honest. Just because you love somebody, just because I love somebody, just because that person was close to me, does not mean automatically because I love them, they're going to heaven. I love my daddy. My daddy might watch this video. He probably won't because he's not into YouTube. But I love my daddy. If my daddy died today, I'm facing the reality. It's most likely he's not going to wake up. He's not going to be in the presence of the Lord. He's Why do I say this? Why am I speaking? Why am I judging my daddy? I'm judging my daddy because I see his fruit, because I hear the things that he says. I see the life that he lives. He does not live for Jesus. He does not speak as a Christian. He does not preach the gospel. That's not who he is. Yeah, he's a smart guy. He can tell you some wise things. He can tell you about a lot of things because he's old. He's been around a long time. He's smart. But worldly smart, he's book smart. Book smart doesn't mean saved. Book smart doesn't mean the Lord is going to be like, hey, you made straight A's and you got your PhD. Come on in. That's not how it works. The Bible doesn't say that that's how it works. Just because my daddy's smart doesn't mean he's going to come skating into heaven. Just because my daddy is, what's the word I'm looking for? He's got that, that charm. Some people, they're charming, they're likable. You talk to them like, yeah, I like that guy. He's a nice guy. Just because he has that doesn't mean that he's born again. He's not. The Lord is not looking at how, charming you are and, oh, you're so cool. People like you. You're cool. You got swag. Swag ain't getting you in. I love my daddy. My daddy knows that. We have conversations about this. But I cannot sit up here and say, like, my daddy died today. I pray he doesn't. But if my daddy died today and his funeral was next week, I wouldn't be at his funeral like, he's with the Lord. Praise the Lord. He's with the Lord. I wouldn't be saying that. I would be crying because I know he probably ain't with the Lord. And so that's a reality Christians have to face. That's a reality that even, people who aren't Christians have to face. They're not going. Jesus said that the way is narrow. He said that few would find it. Few. But So that's the stuff that people don't want to talk about. But I pray for my daddy. I do. I pray for him. I say, Lord, I pray you save his soul before he gets out of here. And I don't care how you do it. I don't care how you do it. If my daddy got to be in a wheelchair, if he got to be paralyzed, if he got to be, whatever. If he got to be in a jail cell. If my daddy go to prison and he gets saved in prison, praise the Lord. Because this life is temporary. If you spend 30 years on earth, 40 years on earth, 60 years on... My daddy's 75. If you spend 75 years on earth, 75 short years on earth, and all of eternity in hell, 75 years ain't nothing. Okay, so you lived your life, you did what you wanted to do, you enjoyed, you partied, you got money, you did what you wanted to do, you lived your life. Everybody thought you was fresh, you fly, you got this, you got that. Oh, I want to be like so-and-so. And that so-and-so goes to hell. Those years that they spent on earth meant nothing. It meant nothing. And I don't want to, I'm not going to let my life be nothing, because Christ lives inside of me. And the Lord's light is going to shine. It's going to shine, and truth hurts. The truth hurts. And this video is not to make you sit down and think about all your family members who are probably going to hell. This video is to make you say, if I know somebody that I talk to on a regular basis, and I know most likely they aren't saved, then you need to tell them. You need to tell them the gospel. Right? Right, David? You need to tell them the gospel. Because life is short. Because we don't know when our last day here is. We don't know. People die every day. People die every second. And I just want to tell you, speak up. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I know that people's faces, like Jeremiah in the Bible, the Lord told Jeremiah, don't be afraid of their faces. Because we know people will look at you like you crazy, like, get out of here with that Bible talk, that Jesus talk, that hell talk. You judging. You shouldn't be judging nobody. So if I don't say anything to you, and you die, and you go to hell, and you're in hell, and you're thinking about, like, well, Ro, she knew Jesus. She could have told me, and I wouldn't have been in this place forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I can't escape. That person's blood will be on your hands, and you don't want to have to deal with that. I deal with that here right now, thinking about the people that I could have told that I didn't, because I figured I would see them again. Now, hopefully, I will see them again. But I figured I would see them again in the flesh. It just wasn't anything that I just didn't think about it. Like, I didn't know they were going to die. I knew that they would die eventually, because everybody's going to die. Unless the Lord comes back and get us first. Everybody's going to die that's here right now. And that's something that Christians have to be prepared for. That's something that we have to think about. Like, I don't know if I'm going to see this person again. I got to let my light shine. I got to tell them the truth. Do you know about Jesus? Well, most likely, everybody you know probably knows about Jesus. Everybody knows about Jesus. You say Jesus, people are like, yeah, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Okay. But what about Jesus? What did he do? And then a lot of people know that too. A lot of people know, well, yeah, I heard about Jesus. I heard he died. He died on some cross a long time ago, and he died for our sins, and yeah, that's great. But it's like they don't really get it. So that's what we have to do. We're ambassadors of Christ. We have the Holy Ghost living on the inside of us. Our light, his light, shines through us. So we have to help them understand what Christ did, and not make light of it, not make a joke out of it. Some people, it's funny, like, not funny, but it's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, Christ, he came, yeah, he died, okay, yeah, whatever. And it's not important to them because they don't really get it. So you got to help them get it. You got to help them understand that he sacrificed himself for us so we wouldn't have to spend eternity in hell. Because everybody sins. Everybody deserves hell. Nobody deserves good. Nobody deserves heaven. Some people were say that, well, they didn't deserve to die. Actually, everybody deserves to die, okay? Everybody deserves to die, and everybody deserves hell. Whether they want to believe it or not, some people feel like that's absurd. That's drastic. You know, no, because God is a holy God. You know, and He prepared hell for the devil and his angels. He didn't prepare hell for us. You know. Some people, they're not gonna accept that. They're not gonna believe that hell is real and the devil is real. And oh, I know. Regardless if they want to believe in hell or not, you still gotta tell them. And it's probably from my experience, it's probably harder. It's harder with family than it is with anybody else, and it's because just like Jesus said, you know, a prophet is not accepted in his own home, in his own town. It's because people, your family knows you. You know, they know you, and usually family, they're more likely to listen to somebody who's not their family than somebody who is their family. And that's just the way it is. You know, it's been like that. That's just the way it is. They're just too close. You know how it is? Sometimes people are just too close. And so if your sister or your cousin or your mama tells you, you know, such and such ain't no good for you, you'd be like, yeah, whatever. But let some stranger, you know, tell you, such and such, I don't know you and I don't know him, but what I see, that doesn't look healthy. You know, you might actually be like, man, they don't even know you. They don't even know you. You know, just like if you go see a psychiatrist or something. I would highly advise you not to, but people listen to psychiatrists, people who don't even know them. They'll pay this person to tell them, to give them advice, before they listen to people who love them, their own family, their own friends. And I'm just saying that to say that when you're witnessing to your family, it's probably gonna be hard. And so that's when we gotta keep on our armor, you know, because it's tough out here. It really is. And just be persistent. Be okay, maybe not persistent, because sometimes you're wasting your time doing that. But I would say at least do it once. You know, at least do it once, and if they don't receive it, their blood is off your hands. Their blood is off your hands. And some people, you know, they get very offended and they don't want to hear you tell them over and over and over again. So don't. But you tell them once, you know, speak the truth in love. You know, they receive it. Hey, great. Praise the Lord. They don't receive it. You did your part. You can't make a person believe. God has given us free will. People are free to believe. They're free to not believe. All right. So that's all I got for you. Yeah. Speak the truth in love. Tell your family, tell your friends, those closest to you, because you don't know when your time is gonna. You don't know when their time is gonna run out. I love you. All right. Tell them bye-bye. Bye-bye. And remember, stay focused for Jesus. Love you guys. There goes your daddy. There goes your daddy. We're gonna celebrate. We're gonna celebrate. There goes your daddy.